Hello everyone. In today's video I was going to be continuing my Tears of the Kingdom playthrough series. In the last episode we made it to the ancient city Gorgondia, and now we're going to continue. This is basically just a giant dungeon that the player has to complete. Waiting for the enemy to fire first. It's been a while since I've done my last video, but I wanted to continue to the series. The player here will learn what the hydrants do. So that's what we're going to be using. My strategy for this part is to hold it above the player's head like this. No specialty ultra hand maneuvers or anything like that. And then you just wait for the next one to fill in. As you can see, we're creating magma stone slabs. When we're done, we won't need it, so you can just turn it off. Alright, now we're going to head on to here and activate this, which we're going to need the Goron Yunobo to attack this thing. Here we go. We're able to continue. If you don't do it there, it'll just re-loop you back to the front. So it's not like too much of a disadvantage. Okay, over here is where we're going to need to head. We're going to need to destroy this enemy, otherwise he's going to get in our way. I'm going to throw some ice choo-choo jelly at him. Now we can attack his weak point, if there wasn't so much fire in our way. Let's see if I have any ice fruit. It's been a while since I've been on my Chris 2 account. That's what I call my alt account. Alright, now we have that enemy defeated. Fire like stone. This comes in more handy than you'd expect. And now we have this treasure chest. That's actually pretty good, and I can carry it. Here we're going to need to build a ramp so the Goron Yunobo can actually destroy that marble rock roast. We're going to need one of these hydrants, because we got to build one out of the stone slabs. Alright, now we can just place this down and build some stone slabs. Probably should show you how to make those big ones. So if you have the water facing one spot, it'll create a small one like this. However, if you want a big one, what you want to do is, of course, activate your hydrant, but move it from side to side like this. Oh. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But basically, you'll just kind of move it from side to side to create one of those big ones. Although in this case it didn't work. Now we have a good enough platform. So we're just going to send him over here. And over there's a giant gong, which we're going to send him at that. That's basically what you have to activate for this dungeon. That was one of 5 of these. Now on to the other 4. We're going to want to activate this. And of course activate our minecart. This part's going to get a little bit chaotic, because if you look up there, there's some enemies. We'll line up with them. You can just use the Goron to knock them off. The enemies are just going to go around in circles. That glitch occurred again where I collect their resources. I'm just going to hit that in advance because I already know we're going to need it. If you had a long enough weapon, you could activate this thing from the minecart. But since we don't, we just have to hop off and re-enter. Just make sure you turn off your minecart beforehand. Now we'll head to our right side instead of our left. These are stone pebblets, the flame variant, so we'll have to be careful with them. You're going to need some big hammer-like weapons, otherwise you won't be able to do damage to them. However, you know the Goron can, although it takes a while for him to line up his attack before he actually attacks the enemies. Let's find out what these... Oh yes, I remember now. It's been a while since I've actually done this dungeon, but now I remember. You go through here. I think this might have been a bonus chest, if I was correct. Yeah, I see it over there. The sword does not do much damage. Not unless I can get attachments for it. Rusty broadsword. That'll be good enough. Let's see what's in here. There's like a little resupply room for the player. Move my minecart over here so that way we can turn it around. And I just broke the minecart. But that's fine because I can easily reattach the fan. Didn't expect that to happen. And just turn it off here so that way it'll start slowing down. And I'll just grab it. If it were to get away from you, there's a second minecart right here. However, I want to use this one. Put this on here. I believe this is the next room we have to head to. This next part's we're gonna need a little bit of timing with this. We're gonna activate this, and we're gonna shoot this thing as soon as we get on top of this part. Uh-oh. That did not seem to work. However, I have a new idea. Like I say, it's been a while since I've done this dungeon. I'm just gonna activate it when I get to the safe land over there. I'm going to use the Goron to attack that thing over there. Now, if you're wondering what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to use a special strategy. If y'all remember a few episodes ago, well, actually, I don't even know if I have fire key swings. Let me see. I have the fire key's eyes, however, I don't have the wings. However, any enemy wing will let you use it like that, which, as you can see, it activated. We'll be going up there shortly. However, I believe the next one of these gongs is... Oh yeah, it's over there. Here we're going to want to hitch a ride on one of these things, and just use the rewind ability. Just like that. Actually, I should restore all my health. The player has a natural defense to damage when they have their health at full. The only exception for this is a Gleeok enemy, those three-headed dragons, where they can instantly kill a player even if they have full health. Now time to activate this one. The next one's been finished. Now we just gotta hitch a ride on here and head downward. Alright, now we can head up here, like I had mentioned earlier. The minecart's not fully on there. That's odd, must be a minecart glitch. Here we go. Now I can activate it. And we're going to be heading upward. Over there, where that red spotlight is, this powerful enemy. So you'll want to be careful of that one. Actually get a better weapon out for fighting him. There you go. He's going to try using one of the objects on his table. In this case, he wants to use fire with the flame emitter. these enemies have the ability to attach stuff to things, kind of like how the player can. I got some more capsules. I'm pretty sure my current weapons are better than what he has. Now we'll need to jump all the way over there. I actually did a funny moment on my channel where when I had tried this, but I had ended up failing. Actually see another one of these capsules here that I want to grab. And I'm pretty sure, yes, there's a chest here. We have 10 arrows now. I'm pretty sure all I need to do is add a rocket to this to make it be able to jump there. Because as you can see, the road's been destroyed over time. Yep, all I need is a rocket. But as you can see, that was already chaotic. This weapon's actually really powerful. It'll be good for the boss fight. This room's a little bit complicated, but we'd have to get up there somehow. If my memory serves me correct, I think if you get high enough, you should be able to ascend here. Looks like I'm climbing. If you look over there, you can see more of the depths. If y'all remember in the last video, it's because we discovered this underground region, which is the exact same size as the mainland. Don't worry if your stamina gets low. Don't forget that there are stamina meals in the game. But as you can see, we just want to hop onto this ledge. If you're wondering what that light source is over there, that's an underground elevator. If you ascend there, it'll take you back to the surface. That's kind of like the way to how to get to the top without using any specialty teleporting. Now, if y'all remember this from like maybe 10 seconds ago, if we destroy this, this leads back down into that room. That's why I wanted to climb up and ascend. It's like a little hack to getting up here. Now we just have 2 more of these to unlock. Next thing we're going to do is fly over there. I believe if you don't have Tulin's ability, yeah, you can just use a minecart from down in here. Well, I'm going to use Tulin's ability just to make it go by faster. I'm pretty sure if my memory serves... Oh yeah, what you have to do is, if you see those minecarts down there, they're hooked together, some giant hooks. You gotta put one of those hooks on here, and then ride the minecart all the way to where I'm at now, just because the cart track is broken. As you can see, we got a ruby. This looks like an ancient table, although we can't move it. Now what we're going to want to do is from here, we're going to want to fly down all the way over here. Now we're going to use the Goron, wherever he is, to blow up this. Here we go. It already activates it when you use it. They put a minecart here in case the player gets stuck, kind of like right now. We may want to switch this again. No, that only activates that one. Let me see what that does. Oh yes, that straightens out the path here. Let me see what that other one does when I activate it. Ah, yes. Basically, you're going to want to hit both of those. When we were fighting that enemy earlier in that room, you could technically activate those things while you're there next to that enemy, although I just skipped past that. He's standing in the middle of the road. He'll get on top of it, as you can see. He kind of serves like a cannon that the player can use. Now we're going to activate this. Let's see what this chest has. There's a lot of treasure chests in this dungeon. Mostly filled with arrows. There's a Zonite longsword. Even though it says it does 8 damage, it'd probably do like 10 or maybe 9 damage. Just because two-handed weapons do more damage than what it actually says. Just like how spears do less damage than what it actually says. Before players knew that, a lot of players would say that spears are the best kind of weapon because of how powerful they are. Until people learned about it. That was a close one. Alright, now we defeated this guy. Let me see what happens when we come back here. This bridge looks completely broken. Oh yes. We're going to want to jump down into here. As you can see, there's already a pre-built ramp. Wherever he is. Here he is. We're going to have him activate this. Now we're going to take one of the slabs that this thing creates. We're actually going to need a secondary one. Wrong direction. We're going to be creating an extra big ramp. Alright, now we have it all lined up. Now let's see if this works. Oh, I think I made it too high. Oops. There we go. Now we're going to take that same ramp and we're going to use it for this next part right here. Where'd he go? Here he is. And send him up there. We're going to need to head into that room. It's going to be a little tricky. I'll try using it without Tulin's ability just to show how possible it is. Now we're going to want to ascend. We're a bit too high up now because we made it to the next room over, so we can just fly down and jump into here, which you'll recognize this room by the gaping hole in the middle of it. At the start of the dungeon, I didn't show it on camera, but you can technically come over here and you'll see this room, however it's locked, until the player attacks this structure. And the room's opened. However, the last terminal's in here. And there's another chest for us. Strong Zonite longsword. Assumed damage either going to be 11 or 12. There's a rusty broadsword with durability up. I'll get rid of the original Zonite longsword that I have. Time to activate the final switch. Alright, now that all the terminals have been activated, I actually thought that was going to be a lot harder on camera. Just that I don't play this game too often. Also, Christmas has come, And also I got a bunch of new video games on Christmas that I've been playing. But anyways, this weapon is good. Pretty much all my gear will be good for the boss fight. If you want to make more meals, you can. There's just more cutscene stuff that I'll be skipping. Alright, now we're entering the boss arena. What they want the player to do is use Yunobo on the walls to activate the roof to break open that boulder, which y'all will see it. Alrighty, the boss has been spawned, Marbled Goma. You may recognize this boss from older Zelda games. Basically, we need him to destroy all the legs, or at least just 2 of them. The rock roast that spawns right now is going to blow up. Basically, you're just making it lose balance, so that way you can actually reach the eye, which is the obvious weak point. Those are my best weapons. Ooh, I could use this one. Does that what a stone talus would do and try to knock the player off. And here come its legs. While it's spawning its legs in, you can't get an extra hit until they're all officially loaded, so wait a second for it to regenerate all of its legs before you actually try using the Goron on it again. Using the Luminous Stone Talus Hammer, which does like 49 damage per hit. I'm not gonna let it break just because the attachment's super powerful. Should have prepared more weapons for this. I'll probably be fine. In regular Breath of the Wild, you know, the first one, there was a master mode. However, enemies could regenerate health if you don't, like basically you have to constantly be attacking them, otherwise they'll regenerate health, which that would make boss fights like this super hard. Of course, this boss fight doesn't exist in the original Breath of the Wild game, although I still thought it'd be worth mentioning. Just gotta hurry and attack them. If you whistle, all the champions will come running, as you can see right now. Just wait for a second, and there we go. Now attack the legs. This looks like the last amount of damage I'll need to do before I actually start the second phase. As you can see, the secret stone is up there beneath the boss, or maybe above it. I'm actually not too sure. They'll try to spawn in these giant bombs around the player, which you can just use the Goron Yunobo's ability to dodge them. I got one of the legs, which that's all you need to do to knock it down. Almost got him. As you can see, just like a stone talus, they'll knock you off. I'm going to use Spiny Bone Club. This weapon will actually do more damage if I wet Link with a Splash Fruit, or if I use Sidon's Water Wall, just because I'm using a Zora Sword. You can also Ultra Hand if you want to use Ultra Hand if you want to get those out of your way, or you could even climb over them. It takes a while before they actually blow up. And I'll just keep doing a bunch of damage. The screen's gonna blink like this, like crazy, because I'm doing double damage, because it's the boss's weak spot. You'll have to wait for it to get back on the roof. Which now we're going to angle it and fire. Once you figure out it's not too hard, all the boss fights in this game can actually be replayed if you go down into the depths where we happen to be right now. And basically they're all going to have their own boss fight arena down here. But the cool thing is if you, well, it's more of like a funny thing, but if you try to fight this boss in one of the boss fight arenas, because there's no roof for the boss fight arenas like in here, when it goes to its second phase, it's just going to look around and then start to look worried on account of there not being a roof for it to climb on, kind of like how it's going right now. You can never tell what side it's going to hop on. Almost defeated. And there we go. As usual, we get our heart container and this cutscene stuff that I'll be skipping. Alrighty. Now we have Yunobo's ability, which is the exact same as the dungeon when we were using him in there. Now he'll follow us, and we can kind of use him like a big attack method. If there are like rows of enemies, you can pretty much use him to attack them all at once. There's lots of other ways you can use him as well. That's going to wrap up this video. I'd suggest for the next video getting more weapons and arrows and other supplies, and of course more rupees. Well anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video, so please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Goodbye.